we've all found that these lost tools have creeped into other parts of our lives besides our writing lessons. So how have these creeped into your dinner conversations?
April? Okay. Well, these videos are being recorded when we're all staying at home. So let me just first say that the circumstances, which is a common topic, are unique. But my friends here probably know that I am not an animal person. And Camille, we just got a dog last night.
I met her
once.
Yeah. Andrea, we were practicing with the Zoom, and she met Chief. I'm not sure of the breed, but we adopted from a shelter. Anyway, that's not something that I would ever was willing to think would happen right now. Maybe in a few years when the house is a little more empty. But at our dinner conversations, what do you think we did? We looked at pets. We had to talk about the pets. We had to talk about, there were 3 that we were set on after, days of discussion. There were 3 that we were set on, and we all had different favorites. But what helped us choose is looking at the dog's background. Well, where did this one come from? This one was from a family. Has this one been near a family? Or, are these 3 breeds alike? We were really using comparison to make that judgment, and testimony from the foster parents. Chris was getting emails that he would share with us. So they, essentially those foster parents are character witnesses saying,
yeah, they are.
eyewitnesses.
Yeah, and eyewitnesses to share with us. They were part of that conversation indirectly to tell us, this one is a great dog. He has, one of them had an anxiety for a separation anxiety. Some of them don't come from good situations. So we had these questions that are some of these common topics helped us choose a really great dog, because I knew what questions to ask that helped get my mind going. And I know for sure years ago, the questions that I would have been asking would have been far different, or I wouldn't have been able to see so much, because we all actually were set on one dog. And we had to keep coming back to the one that we got, because this one came from a family. This family had 2 boys. This one had some training. So, like my Annie chart, A and N, I was building that. We were all building that together as a family around the table.
Lovely.
That's cool.
Camille?
I think I just go back to conversations with my adult children at this point, when we're able to get together, when, we ask about their days or what kind of projects they're doing. And I think I'm just much more, I ask, well, what do you mean by that? Or what do you mean by that? Or go on, or what else? And just make more time and more space for conversation to happen, and to ask that. So I guess that's a definition question that I'm asking, just so I get to hear more description of the things that they've done, the things they've built, or the trees they've planted, or the books they read, or whatever it might be.
When my kids were little, for a little time, we would, I'm thinking of your adult kids, because I'm there now with my big kid, where I often just say, oh, right. So he'll just talk if I don't say much.
Yes.
But when they were littler, we did a few things to play games around the dinner table. And one of them was we took a cube and put a common topic on each side of the cube, and we'd roll the cube.
Nice.
And then we'd have to use that topic to talk about whatever it was. If I wanted to talk about the bees in our backyard, I'd have to use whatever topic it was to talk about the bees. If I wanted to talk about rowing, I'd have to use that common topic. And so that was kind of a fun way that made it a game way. But, we didn't always, that was, you could call it forced, right? Because that cube is forcing us to do that. But when it's not forced, we've just had these tools sprinkled into the conversations, because I know, like as April has said, I know the questions, and so I just pull from the appropriate one at the moment with whatever's been shared. Then I ask, especially my husband, he's in the finance field. And so right now I'm often asking for comparison. How was today compared to yesterday? And how are people doing at work in comparison? Are they handling this transition better or worse? What kind of, when people are calling in now, what kinds of questions are they asking you? Is it definition questions? Or are they asking you testimony questions for his authority? And so, I'm able to use them in that way, even with my husband. But the dice around the table was a fun way when they were young.
Well, then everybody becomes accustomed to having that kind of conversation, and it teaches you to listen, and it teaches you to see more.
Well, and I would say to some degree, Andrew has us at the apprenticeship retreats speak based on a common topic,
right,
that we draw out of a hat.
Yeah.
And so we can speak about whatever the topic is, but we're going to have to use this common topic to do the speaking.
Yeah.
So that's what the dice does.
I've played that game before.